I'm so tired for this. Oh, hang on. I'm thirsty. Okay. I am so sorry. This is my reaction rant. I know this is a while because this episode in particular premiered October 13th. And it's like 4 days later. I believe it's 4 days later. Is it the 17th today? I want to say it is. But anyway, this is for the very first episode of Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, titled Out of Time. I said in previous videos that the reason why I have not recorded it the week it came out is because, stupidly enough for me, like, I was getting ready for the episode. I was like, okay, it's gonna premiere at 8 o'clock as per usual, but then, like, it was only 7 at the time, and I was like, you know what? I need to pass an hour, right? So I was playing with my phone, and I was having so much fun with my phone. I was having so much fun with my phone that I didn't look at the time, and by the time I noticed the time while playing with my phone, I missed like 30 minutes of the episode. That's right. When I finally looked at the time on my phone instead of the game I was playing, it was 8:30, and I was like, dang it! So that's the main reason why I did not want to record this without fully watching the episode. So that's why I didn't record and upload this video the week it premiered, mainly because I had to watch at least the first 30 minutes that I missed, and then, like, you know, piece it together with the rest of the episode that I did watch, and then do this video. So, preparing myself. But anyway, this is episode 1, Out of Time. And apparently, back in 2016, this one dude named Nate Haywood actually goes to Mayor Queen's office. And I think this is pretty funny, because you see the dude literally running through City Hall. He has, like, one of those, you know how those professors have those cool-looking, slung-up-over bags, like, usually, like, brown-colored, and have all these documents and books and everything? Yeah, he was like that. He looked like a typical, like, professor, or like a newcomer teacher, because he had that book bag filled with papers and books. He was carrying a bunch of papers and books. He was running like crazy. And apparently, he wanted the help of Oliver Queen, because he knows that Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow. He even mentioned it in his private little meeting with Oliver, which I thought was pretty funny, because when, you know, when the security actually caught him, it was literally right outside Oliver's mayor door, and he literally says, Ray Palmer and Sarah Lance and the rest of the Legends are in trouble. That's how he was able to get a meeting with Oliver, because, you know, that caught his eye, right? And the fact that Nate Haywood actually mentioned, oh, I know you're Green Arrow, and all that stuff, right? And apparently he needs Oliver's help locating the Wave Rider, because apparently it got caught in a nuclear blast in 1942. Now, before I get into it, this is the interesting part. Hang on. Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm like warming up some soup too, because let's face it, it rained like crazy. If you're in my area, you would have been so happy to hear the rain, because we never get rain. And so, we hardly get rain. Let me rephrase that. We hardly get rain. Now in these days, for the past like maybe 2.5 years, we haven't had much rain. So when it rained like crazy yesterday, I was so happy, but at the same time, it was freaking cold! So, getting back to the episode, I looked up Nate Haywood, because I was like, maybe this guy is in the comics somewhere. I mean, they wouldn't have brought a random dude to go to Oliver Queen's office talking about the Wave Rider. So, I looked him up, and apparently, Nate Haywood in the comics is known as Citizen Steel. And, let me see if I can find him. Henry Haywood. Are you Henry Haywood? No. Oh, here you go. Nate Haywood. His full name apparently is Nathan Buckeye Haywood. He is the grandson of a guy named Henry Haywood and the cousin of Henry Haywood III. He was formerly a football star in Ohio. Couldn't do that anymore because he busted his kneecap. Let's see. Apparently, while going through a family reunion in the comics, he was attacked by the Fourth Reich, which is a team of metahuman neo-Nazis ordered by Vandal Savage, to wipe out the entire bloodlines of every Golden Age hero. And unfortunately, the Fourth Reich fails completely to destroy the Haywood bloodline because both Nathan and a few other children managed to survive. Nathan's brother and mother are turned into metal statues by the villain Reichmark. And let's see. Nathan manages to jam his crutch into Raymond's mouth. Remember, he had a busted knee. And unfortunately, the liquid metal managed to go... Hang on. I'm sorry, I just saw like the funniest thing ever where someone was like straight up... Sorry, I'm hungry. And yes, I'm eating chips. I need chips. But anyway, apparently in the comics, Nathan jams his crutch into Reigmar's mouth, causing him to spit liquid metal blood onto Nathan. And Hawkman and Dr. Midnight in the comics take note that the metal is actually being absorbed by Nathan's skin. And apparently turns him into, Citizen Steel. He's actually named Citizen Steel, none other by Power Girl, which I think is pretty cool. So obviously this guy is very well known in the comics, especially with the Golden Age heroes. So I can't wait to see. With the possibility of him turning into Citizen Steel, I'm liking this, guys. That sounds like a good thing to me. I mean, are you guys looking forward to a possibility that he will turn into Citizen Steel? Because I am. I need more heroes. Anyway, they managed to locate the Wave Rider in the bottom of the ocean. And as they're going through the Wave Rider, they only managed to find Mick, who is unconscious aboard the Wave Rider, and he's in stasis, like kind of like in a coma kind of thing, right? But like they managed to wake him up from stasis, revive him and everything. And they ask him, what the heck happened to your team? And of course, Oliver is worried because, he knows Sarah, he knows Ray and all that stuff. So he pretty much tells you what happened and how the Wave Rider ended up on the bottom of the ocean with just himself apparently in stasis. So, Rip's team, Mick, Ray, Sarah, Jefferson, and Martin, traveled through time dealing with these aberrations in history, right? The funniest moment is the fact that, I think they're helping the Queen of France at one point, and it was so funny because they were strictly told not to use future tech. Unfortunately, some of the people that they were, apprehending, they had future tech, so they had no choice, Jefferson and Martin had to become Firestorm. Ray had to use his Atom suit because of the future tech. Sarah was seducing the Queen of France right before she was supposed to, conceive baby with her man, which I thought was hilarious, by the way. But as they're going through all this time traveling stuff, they learn that a nuclear bomb will be detonated in New York City in 1942. Unfortunately, for the longest time, they stayed away from 1942 because, hang on. Sorry, at the same time that I'm eating and, warming up soup, I'm eating, warming up soup, and I'm distracted by a TV. I have ADHD, so it's gonna, my attention span will be like that with 4, you know what I mean? But anyway, basically what happened was, hang on. The reason why they've been avoiding 1942 is because at the end of season 1, Rex Tyler, remember that guy? Who said he was part of the Justice Society of America? Apparently he told them to avoid 1942 because that's where they're all possibly going to all die or something like that, right? But when they hear about the nuclear bomb that was detonated in New York City in 1942, they discovered that Damien Dark is the one behind the nuclear explosion in NYC in 1942. Since Damien Dark is the one that killed Laurel, Sarah attempts to try to kill Damien Dark. She is up and going. She's like, let's go to 1942. I want my revenge for Laurel's death. I want to kill Damien Dark, right? And as they're fighting him and everything, Sarah, she's just doing her own thing. She's not even thinking about anyone else. She's only thinking about, this guy killed my sister. If I kill him now, I could prevent him from killing my sister, right? And unfortunately, Damien Dark manages to escape he manages to escape to a U-boat. If you don't know what a U-boat is, look it up, because I'm not going to look it up for you. And he has one sole atomic bomb on that U-boat. And he's heading toward New York, and he manages to launch that atomic bomb toward New York. And Rip has a team on the Wave Rider, has them all strapped in, and it seemed like, you know, he's gonna be like, we're all gonna, I'm not sure if this ship can take the atomic bomb. We're gonna try anyway. And as it seems like the entire team was gonna go, you know, go down with the ship along with Rip. Rip triggers something that pretty much is like a fail-safe program, which pretty much transports everybody on the Wave Rider and pretty much teleports them throughout time, different parts in time. The only person that did not get teleported was Mick, which I thought was pretty funny, because Mick was like, why did I go? Why did I go? Everyone else, you put the failsafe for everyone else. How come I'm still on the Wave Rider? Right? And he's like, I knew you always hated me. I thought that was pretty freaking awesome. That was hilariously funny. But the reason why Mick did not go through, you know, the time thingy was because with their little attack on Damien Dark, he ended up getting shot and injured, right? And Rip tells him that, I scattered the team throughout time except for you because you're too injured to go through time. And since you're injured, you would not survive the trip. That's the reason why he's still there. Hang on. Sorry about that. I thought I heard something. Yesterday, because of the rain, there were so many cats passing by our roof that I saw like 8 of them pass by, and I was like, okay. So I'm hearing cats on my roof, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, apparently with injured Mick, Rip puts him in stasis, and we see the Wave Rider intercept the bomb and end up saving New York, the Wave Rider being the one getting shot by the atomic bomb. And in present time, you know, Oliver says he can't really time travel with them, so he has to go back. And so Mick and Nate managed to use the Wave Rider, you know, they started back up again, and travel throughout time to rescue everyone, because Nate has a bunch of articles and stuff of weird things that are happening throughout time. For instance, there's an article of Jurassic moment where they see a giant footprint, and they said, oh, this must be freaking Adam, aka Ray, right? And so they're traveling throughout time, rescuing everyone. They basically find Ray in the land of dinosaurs. What you call it? Jefferson and Martin, I think they were like, gosh, I don't know where they were, but I remember they were like, this one kid was like off with their heads, something like that. I don't know where they were. Sarah was in like the Salem witch trials, because they're all like, she's a witch, she messed with all our women and all that stuff. It was hilarious. I thought that was funny. But anyway, they managed to track down everybody, but they failed to find any trace of Rip. Unfortunately, there's a message from Rip that apparently he's just gone. We don't know what happened to him. I mean, obviously the ship survived, and Mick was fine. He was in stasis. So he says like goodbye and all that stuff in a message, like a hologram message, but we don't know what really seriously happened to him. We didn't see him die, literally. I mean, the ship survived. I'm pretty sure he could have. I don't know, but he survived long enough to create a hologram message for everyone and pass down the ship and everything to them. I don't think he's dead, but I don't know why he left. I'm kind of bewildered by that. But anyway, after preventing the events in 1942, they're about to go back to the Wave Rider, where they're literally confronted by the Justice Society of America. Now, I'm slightly running out of time, so I'm going to make a mini, like a 1.5 video about the Justice Society of America, okay? And I'll see you soon. Bye!